Welcome to the Mindset Coach podcast, brought to you by the Mindset Coach Academy. I'm Lara Young, your host and Master Certified Coach. Whether you're a seasoned coach or just starting your coaching career, this podcast is your go-to resource for all things mindset, coaching, and personal development. Each week, we bring you expert insights, practical strategies, and inspirational stories to help you become the best coach you can be. Our guests range from leading industry professionals to successful mindset coaches who share their secrets for creating lasting change. Plus, I'll be answering your burning questions and sharing tips from our ICF and multi-accredited Mindset Coach Certification program. So, if you're ready to elevate your coaching game, stay tuned and let's dive into today's episode. When I ran my first group coaching program, I thought it would feel just like individual coaching with more people. I quickly realized that group coaching is an entirely different experience. It's not about coaching each person one at a time or opening a Zoom room and letting everyone in. The magic of group coaching comes from the dynamic in the room, where clients learn from each other, share insights, and multiply breakthroughs together. Without the right frameworks and facilitation skills, it can feel messy and overwhelming. The difference between an effective group and a struggling one is the ability to create structure while allowing space for connection and growth. If you've ever thought about moving beyond one-to-one coaching into groups, but you're unsure how to make it actually work, this episode is for you. For years, I was busy with one-to-one clients. I loved the depth of working with them, but I was exhausted and really tapped out in terms of both energy, income, and time. And when I first tried group coaching, I honestly thought I could just replicate my one-to-one process, and it flopped. The clients didn't feel the same transformation, and I felt a little bit like I was juggling chaos. I was trying to be everything to everybody, and in the end, it wasn't a satisfactory experience for anyone. So fast forward to today. Now, today, groups are one of my favorite ways to coach. Not only do my clients and students get incredible results, but the energy, the scale, and the sustainability are on a whole new level, as is the enjoyment that I get from working in group environments. So in this episode, I'm going to break down the most common pitfalls that make group coaching fall flat, the 3 levels of group program design, and my framework for facilitation and real transformation. And if this resonates, I'll also share how you can go deeper inside my group coaching mastery program. So here's the truth. Most group programs fail not because the coach isn't skilled, but because the structure doesn't actually support the transformation. So let me paint a picture of what often happens. Well, first of all, the program is overstuffed with content. Now, this is a mistake that I made myself. And early on, my very first group coaching programs were retreats. They were live retreat experiences. And I also had an online virtual program as well. And I thought that I needed to cram every little bit of content in. I needed to fill every waking hour. And I felt like I needed to deliver more to justify the price. And what happened was that groups drown in information instead of transformation. So in retreats, having every single minute of every day planned out in itinerary doesn't work. It doesn't allow the people the spaciousness to be able to grow, develop, reflect, and integrate. And similarly, with virtual programs, if there's too much content, people feel overwhelmed. And when they feel overwhelmed, they don't do anything. The second thing is that group dynamics are left to chance. So what happens then is you have some groups that dominate, other people barely speaking, and the momentum fizzles. The third thing that can happen is that the coach tries to replicate one-to-one in a group, answering everyone's questions one by one, which leaves clients out either waiting forever to have their question answered if they're on a live Zoom call and just zooming out, right? They might end the call, they might leave the call before they actually have a turn. And also airtime can be unbalanced. So a few clients get the spotlight while others feel invisible. So if you've run a group before or if you've been in a group before and it didn't feel as impactful for you as one-to-one coaching, please hear me. It is not about your ability as a coach. It's simply a design and a delivery issue. And the good news is that these are solvable. So, why group coaching done right is powerful. When it's designed well, group coaching doesn't just match the depth of one-to-one, it can actually surpass it. And here's why. The collective energy is unmatched. People feel motivated just by being in a room with peers chasing similar growth. Clients experience those mirror moments when they see themselves in someone else's breakthroughs or struggles. They feel like they're a part of something. They feel like they're not alone. And that can be so powerful. And what happens then is that a shared set of language and insights emerge, which really does build momentum and community. And of course, from your side as a coach, it's a scalable way to serve more people without burning out. Recently, I've had the pleasure of having some of my students inside Group Coaching Mastery transform their one-to-one coaching into group contexts. So they've actually developed group programs, and in a couple of cases, they've developed certifications themselves because they recognize that they have so much value to offer. They needed a real structure around it, and they needed a way that they could create that transformation, provide that transformation that was structured, that was attractive, but also really leveraged not just their skills, but also the skills of the participants. And it's interesting because when you start to think about all the ways that you could integrate your one-to-one work into a group setting, the sky's the limit. You could create a membership, you could create a group coaching program, you could create an educational experience, you could create a live retreat or a workshop experience. The skills that you learn, the skills that you develop and that you nourish when you are working in group coaching are transferable to any different type of group container. And that's really, really powerful. The thing is that what happens as well is once you learn those skills and once you create one group container, it becomes so easy then to translate that into different group containers or to build different levels of experience for your clients. So, for example, one of my students is creating level 1 to level 4 Reiki training certification, and that will take her students all the way from beginner level right through to mastery. So, how do you actually do it right? I teach a 3-phase framework inside Group Coaching Mastery: design, facilitation, and delivery. So, the design phase, well, first we've got to choose the right format. Is it a mastermind? Is it a curriculum-based program, a retreat, or a hybrid? Because not every group has the same purpose, and making that design decision at the early stage really does help you to map out and to build something that is going to help you and your clients deliver that transformation. So we structure the transformation over time. Instead of a series of random sessions, we actually map out the phases that are going to build momentum. And this is where your signature frameworks come in, because people don't buy coaching, they actually buy that journey of transformation. And so we want to really map that out. Where are they now? Where do they want to be? And how does your group container help them to get there? Have a question you'd like answered on the show? Or maybe there's a topic you'd love for us to dive deeper into. Reach out to us via social media or email us directly through our website. Your input helps us create content that's relevant and valuable to you. Remember, this podcast is here to support you on your coaching journey. So please do connect with us. We can't wait to hear from you. Now, the second phase is the facilitation phase. And this is really where you stop being a lecturer, you stop being a trainer, and you start being a facilitator. Because what we want to do is design sessions that balance teaching, coaching, and peer sharing so that you're really harnessing the true power of a group environment. To manage airtime, I teach tools like structured round robins, breakout rooms, and peer coaching pods. And the big one, learning how to manage group energy so the container stays alive and powerful week after week, People want to come and join your calls. They want to come and comment in the group. If you have a group, like a membership area, people want to come. They want to comment. They want to be a part of that community. And the third phase is the delivery system, because even the best coaching can fail if the systems are sloppy. And that's why we cover tech setup, onboarding flows, and community platforms in the program. And it's really important that you choose the right one for you. We also build in integration, things like reflection prompts, journaling, assignments, and support threads, so that the work continues between the live sessions, that the work continues in that community space. And finally, we track progress and gather feedback so that your program can evolve and improve. So, in fact, Group Coaching Mastery started as a beta program, and we're just about to run the second cohort for Group Coaching Mastery. And inside the program, we go deep into 10 proven group formats, from hot seat masterminds to hybrid blends. And it's not theory, because you'll be building your own signature group as we go. Everything that you learn, every structure, every framework, every tool, you're going to be creating your own signature for, and you'll be integrating it into your own group coaching, your own mastermind, your own retreat program. Whatever you choose, I have the formats, the frameworks, everything that you need so that you create a truly transformational group program, because that's really important. And that's what's motivating. It certainly is for me. As I'm leading groups, I'm so motivated by people making progress, people actually achieving what they come to the group environment for, people communicating with each other, people sharing ideas, people supporting each other in the groups. And so I share with you how to make sure that this happens within the group coaching container that you choose to help deliver your transformation. The interesting thing, I think, as well, is that when you're thinking about coaching in groups, when you're thinking about creating a group container, it's really important that we are making sure that you are observing all of these different, I guess, factors that you don't have to consider when you are coaching one-to-one, like group dynamics, like looking at strategies for engagement, like looking at ways to make sure that if you're cohort based, for example, everyone is keeping up week on week so that people aren't feeling overwhelmed or feeling behind. Now, sometimes what happens is people think, well, does it apply to my niche? What if my niche isn't group friendly? I believe that every group and every niche can benefit from transformation. It's just about designing the right format. And sometimes that takes a little bit of creativity. Sometimes it does mean that it's a hybrid between a group offering and a one-to-one. Sometimes it means like it's light to touch. Sometimes it means that it is cohort based and really structured. And that's what I'm here to help you do. The next thing is, well, what if I'm not good at actually managing people in a group? Well, you don't need to be a natural extrovert or an entertainer. In fact, facilitation is a skill that you can learn. And we have implementation sessions in the program so that every week you're learning something new, and then you're coming and you're implementing what you're learning with your fellow students. And it's been amazing just to see how quickly and easily these facilitation skills can grow and flourish. The other thing I think that people sometimes become concerned about is like, can I go deep in a group, or is it also surface level? And I think one of the key things that is important to note that we cover off is psychological safety. And how do you create psychological safety in a group context? How do you maintain things like confidentiality? How do you work in a way that honors every single person in the group so that they feel like they can go be vulnerable, they feel like they can go deeper, and they feel like they can really benefit from those shared breakthroughs? Because that's really important. I think having that recognition factor in a group that I'm not alone. There are other people out there like me who are wanting this transformation or who are experiencing this thing. I don't think you can put a price on that. And so, in being able to create those environments where people do feel safe and they do feel heard, that goes such a long way to actually having and facilitating that deep transformation. And groups really do not mean surface level. They can mean that deep structured transformation, that sense of belonging, that sense of community, and that sense of growth. If you're someone who's been thinking about moving to the next level as a coach or being a true group facilitator, then Group Coaching Mastery was built for you. You'll get live lessons where I walk you through the design, facilitation, and delivery step by step. You'll get templates, scripts, and session structures so you can plug them straight into your own program. You'll get a supportive peer community where you'll practice, get feedback, and refine your skills, and the confidence to build, run, and fill your first or next group with clarity and ease. And I'd really love to support you. And if you've got questions, you can comment below, or you can click the link below to learn more about Group Coaching Mastery. And this really is your moment. I think if you're thinking about, is this possible for me? Reach out to me, ask the question, and I will share with you my thoughts around whether or not group coaching may be a great container for you, for your coaching practice. I'll be honest with you, if I think that it may not be suited to your clients, then definitely I will share that with you as well. But if you've got an idea, even that you just want to run by me, please do just send me an email, lara@mindsetcoachacademy.com, or comment below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have. So if you're ready to kind of think about, well, I'd like to create a group program, a membership, a retreat, a mastermind, then, take a look at Group Coaching Mastery. I really look forward to seeing what you create, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now. That wraps up today's episode of the Mindset Coach podcast. I hope you found it as inspiring and informative as I did. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow coaches. Your support helps us reach more people and continue to bring top-notch content every week. Remember, you can always learn more about our ICF and multi-accredited Mindset Coach certification program, our coaching membership, and other training opportunities by visiting mindsetcoachacademy.com. Thank you for tuning in, and keep striving to become the best coach you can be. Until next time, this is Lara Young signing off. Stay motivated and keep transforming lives.